Hey guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel to join us on this journey, and as always, can we sit with you?
Okay, so it was the final chapel of my first year at college, and like every year, there were a handful of scholarships and awards that they were handing out. The registrar for the school, he was on stage, shout out to Merv.
Shout out to Merv!
And he was announcing each award and inviting the individuals to come up onto the stage to accept their award. So he gets to a specific set of awards and he calls out 5 recipients' names. Now here's the thing. Every time he was calling out a name, the audience was cheering, right? And the specific students whose names were called would get up, make their way up onto the stage, and accept their award. So here I am. I'm part of the audience. I'm cheering for everyone who's just been called, when all of a sudden, my friend who's beside me, she turns and she says, "Hey, Krysten, they called your name." And I was like, no, they didn't. Then my other friend, she looks over and she says, "No, they did." And now I'm starting to question myself. And then I swear, I saw a few other heads in the audience turn and look in my general direction, and I was like, wait, did they? Now everyone in my general area is going, yeah, they did. Well, I think to myself, I don't want to be the loser that doesn't go up and get my award. So I stand up, I shuffle out of the row, I walk up the stage, I stand in line to get my award. I do one of these. Yeah. Okay. We get to the president of the college, who is, let me know, one of the most well-respected people in our field, David Hazzard, who is also one of the kindest, most servant-hearted leaders you will ever find. So there he is. And he shakes my hand, and he's holding 2 envelopes, and he pulls them in either hand, and he looks at me, and he says, "So, Krysten, I have a question for you. Are you going to be Jessica or Silvano today?" I immediately look at the 2 envelopes in his hand. Neither of them say Krysten Lees. My face immediately went as red as you could possibly imagine. Everyone is looking at David Hazzard and myself, and they are seeing that Mr. Hazzard is not handing out an award to me. And I quickly turn, I walk off the stage, I walk back to my seat. I am mortified, and I'm already plotting how I'm going to make an escape during the final prayer and not see another soul for the rest of the semester. A few minutes later, David Hazzard, he returns to the stage to give some final remarks to the chapel. He starts off by saying, there's one more award that needs to be given out here today. This is to an individual, wait for it, who always knows how to make us laugh. And actually, she's already been on stage this morning, so I'd like to welcome back up to the stage, Krysten Lees. I died, okay? I'm mortified. My head is just in my hands and I refused to move. He continued. He said, "Krysten, I need you to come back up here." I knew that there was no way through that moment except to get back up and walk to the front and stand beside him. So I slink out of the row. I walk back up to the front. And right when I got to the front, President Hazzard took out his wallet. He opened it up. He pulled out a crisp $50 bill. And he said, "Krysten, thank you for always being able to make us laugh." Guys, I quickly took that $50 out of his hand and I walked as fast as humanly possible back to my seat.
Oh my goodness. Guys, there are 2 ways that Krysten could have remembered that story. One as the most embarrassing moment of her entire life, like one of the worst moments. Or as one of the most embarrassing moments, followed by getting $50. It's interesting because there are people who seem to find negative in everything. They get $50, but it wasn't $75. They get a promotion, but it wasn't the one that they wanted. They buy a new house or a new car, but the house wasn't as big or the car wasn't as shiny as they wanted. And then there are those who are passed over for the promotion and they still find contentment in their current job. People who can't afford to buy a house or a new car, but they still find joy in the apartments that they rent and the old car that they have. The former kind of person leaks anger and bitterness everywhere they go in the world, but the latter kind of person radiates joy and peace wherever they go. And so often it comes down to a matter of attitude, perspective. We can't control all of what happens to us, but we can always control our response. Sometimes even in the darkest, most embarrassing moments, there are $50 nuggets of wisdom, of truth, of growth, of joy to be found if we are looking for them. The situation that we're in globally, quite honestly, sucks. It's the worst in just about every way possible. But at the very same time, there is still wonder and awe to be found. There's still peace to be had. There are still $50 nuggets waiting to be noticed along our path, along your path. So is your perspective one of gratitude? Or are you the person who always seems to have a bad attitude? Let's strive to be the former and not the latter, to be the person who finds beauty even in brokenness and laughter even in the awkward fumbles. As we endeavor to be this kind of people, let us remind you, you belong here.
We love you guys.
Love you guys.